Mentioned that is our sister station that this affects, and we sent reporter Pilar Pedraza and assignment editor Haley Rowland to Roanoke to help. Here's Pilar's report.
We just arrived in Roanoke, Virginia a short time ago, and we're now in the WDBJ newsroom. Outside, there are crews from all over the country here to cover the tragedy that happened, but we're not here for that. We're here as a sister station to help the folks here at this station. We are owned by the same company, and our company has sent reporters, photographers, managers, web people from all of the other stations to help out here. Just in the few minutes that we have been here, I have already seen so much emotion in this newsroom. Tears, cards, outpourings of grief from the folks in the newsroom and from other media wanting to help, just like we're doing here. This is an extraordinarily difficult time for any newsroom. When you find yourself at that junction of not only covering the news, but being the news, it can be very, very difficult. And that's why we're here, to give the folks in this newsroom a chance to take a step back, breathe, start the grieving and healing process while we do that legwork that still has to be done in any working newsroom on any day. So for now, we'll be in Roanoke, Virginia, helping out however we can. I'm Pilar Pedraza, and I'm here to help.
Owned by the same company that owns KWCH. Two members of our staff, Haley Rowland and Pilar Pedraza, are in Virginia right now to help fellow colleagues with whatever they need. Pilar talks about what help she and Haley are providing.
As journalists, we often have to distance ourselves from the stories that we cover so that we can carry through and bring you the news. But every once in a while, there's a story that's just too much for us. Either it's too big, September 11th, the assassination of John F. Kennedy, or it hits too close to home. And that's why you see me in this newsroom, WDBJ, here in Roanoke. We're here to help. We are owned by the same company as WDBJ, and as soon as the tragedy struck here, our company said, we're going to provide you with some help. We've got people from several different stations in separate states coming out to do whatever needs doing. Sometimes not things we normally do. I haven't shot sports in over a decade, and I was out shooting baseball highlights, but that's what they needed from me tonight, and so that's what I did. That's what we're here for, to provide whatever aid we can so that the folks at WDBJ have a chance to kind of get back on their feet from this shocking blow that they were dealt and eventually get back to being journalists and maybe heal just a little bit from this gaping wound. So for as long as we're needed, we'll stay here in Roanoke. I'm Pilar Pedraza, and I'm here to help.
Help staff their newsrooms while our colleagues mourn. Pilar Pedraza is one of those journalists, and she shows us how the community is reaching out.
This is just some of what the employees at WDBJ see when they come into work. Now, this is a memorial that has sprung up to Alison and Adam. It was already here when we arrived in Roanoke yesterday, and it has grown in the day since then. It will surely continue to grow as people from around town come in to share their thoughts and their grief with those here at the station. Meanwhile, that's not all that is facing those who work here. When they come in, they see all of this. They've got extra security out here. We've got media crews from all over the country and all over the world. I've seen folks from Spanish-speaking countries, from Russia and other places as well. One journalist is here from Australia. This is a story that has made people around the world feel the grief of the folks here at WDBJ, and that's why we're here again, to help them deal with all of this, that juxture of being not just doing the news, but being the news, which is something so difficult when you're in this business. I'm Pilar Pedraza, and I'm here to help.
We stand with WDBJ. It's a message being sent through social media worldwide following the deadly shootings of a TV reporter and photographer in Virginia. This is the picture we shared. Pilar Pedraza shows you how all of your support is helping the station heal.
It's another day here in Roanoke, and they're continuing to make strides toward beginning the healing. Now, you've probably seen on Twitter and Facebook, #WeStandWithWDBJ, and they want you to know just how much they appreciate that. All of those pictures you guys have been posting, they're putting them up on the wall here in their newsroom, and they're coming from everywhere. Of course, KWCH, we're the sister station owned by the same company. We've sent one out, but we've got Spokane, Washington, Salt Lake City, Anchorage, Alaska, Atlanta, and even their own competition here in Roanoke. Everybody's saying we stand with WDBJ. But the attitude in the newsroom today is we're grateful for all of the support, but it's time for us to get back on our feet and get back to what we do, which is news. They're now moving to we are WDBJ 7.
3 days after a TV crew was gunned down during a live report, many in the community of Roanoke, Virginia, are getting their first chance to visit the station and share their grief. WDBJ reporter Alison Parker and photographer Adam Ward were killed on Wednesday. Tonight, more than 100 people gathered in the parking lot across the street from the station. Pilar Pedraza was there and takes a look at what they hope will come from all of this.
No sad goodbye.
More than 100 people came out, gathering in this parking lot across the street from the station.
In this time of desperation, when all we know is doubt and fear.
They raise their voices in song and prayer. Many say they feel like the folks at WDBJ are family, even if they've never met.
Because that was my morning news, Channel 7. So it was like they were just coming into my home every day, you know. I just felt akin to them.
I watched television as a child during the 50s and 60s and watched WDBJ television all of my life, like most of you have.
They want to help, but at the same time, they're hurting too.
Allison was very dear, and many of the members in our church knew Allison.
They turn to God and each other for healing.
It's certainly something that does give healing within, that it's a little bit difficult to explain, but everybody knows it when it happens.
And they hope the feeling of togetherness won't end with this service.
I would like to see, well, the way we are here today as being as one, I want it to continue like that.
Contribution.
Each giving whatever they can before they leave, from prayers to dollars and cents, to make sure their WDBJ family has what it needs, too. In Roanoke, Pilar Pedraza reporting for WDBJ 7.
Remember, you can follow Pilar on Twitter for ongoing coverage from Virginia. You can also show your support for the station using the hashtag #WeStandWithWDBJ.
Alison Parker's family and friends gathered for one last time in her name tonight, not for a funeral, but in a celebration of all that was Alison. As Pilar Pedraza, who's been reporting for WDBJ, shows us, her last goodbye honored Alison's personality and life.
Bright lights, brighter colors, lots of laughter and upbeat music. This is how Alison Parker's friends and family said their final goodbyes. It was an invitation-only event, closed to the public, yet hundreds showed up, from her family to colleagues, even the governor. They came with somber faces and heavy hearts, but once inside, that didn't last long. While there's still plenty of grief amongst those who call Alison friend and family as they leave this celebration of life, there are more smiles than tears. Sharing their memories of Alison, her love of dance and the theater, her vibrant smile and exuberant personality, they couldn't help but smile and laugh too. And the smiles came even from her family members who've appeared so torn with grief in interviews until now. There was a lot of hugging, and many spent time watching the slideshow documenting her life and personality projected onto the walls surrounding them. Everyone determined to remember Alison for how she lived, who she was, and not how she died.
Tomorrow is the funeral for Adam Ward. Ward was the photographer killed along with Parker last week. As for Vicki Gardner, the woman Alison was interviewing during the attack, her condition continues to improve each day.